Alrighty, we got Battlefield 6 beta. Feedback is great, except one thing. From your boy Enders. Okay, so previously, I actually had a couple videos from Enders queued up, but like, this was like, let me just like see what's going on with this one. I mean, god damn it. Like, the AC at my house has been out for a couple days, so it is whatever. But okay, here we go. What is going on with the beta?
All right, so Battlefield just posted their Battlefield 6 open beta community debrief, and I'm not happy at
Uh-oh.
all
Why?
about certain aspects of it. But we're going to go over all of it, and then I'm going to leave the movement section for last. So we'll be going over all the news. Then I'll be diving into things that I just really heavily disagree with. I
Oh,
do
what's
want to
going on?
apologize for the way I acted on stream over this, but it's just very, very frustrating. I don't retract anything I said. I'm going to double down on this video.
Yeah,
But
you should.
could have handled it in a
Only doubling down. You should only double down. I mean, I don't know what happened.
better way. Anyway, if you do enjoy the content and if you want to follow Battlefield 6, subscribe to the channel and of course leave a like and let me know your thoughts about all this stuff in the comment section. They start off this post by telling us apparently there were over 600,000 hours of Battlefield 6 gameplay streamed and
Over 600,000 hours streamed. Oh. I mean, okay. I mean, like some whatever statistic. Don't really care about it.
30 million hours of it were watched. So it's very clear they're keeping an eye on, I guess, the game's popularity from streaming platforms and YouTube and all that sort of stuff. That's to be expected nowadays. They then go into their initial learnings and in-game changes, going over weapons, movement, maps, modes, the approach to different player counts, playlist options, and reflecting on the open beta and what the next steps actually are. The movement section, which is probably why a lot of you guys are watching this video, will be at the
Yes.
end of.
I saw a little snippet of like some little paragraphs or whatever, and I heard some movement nerfs were inbound, and I wanted to see what Ender said. Okay.
The video because there's just a lot to go over. The weapons section, they have
Oh.
this to say, quote, "We're making targeted adjustments to deliver a more consistent and rewarding gunplay experience. This includes a general pass on recoil and tapfire characteristics across all weapons, further emphasizing their unique feel and improving range differentiation."
Okay, that sounds like everything's gonna feel worse. So that was just a big bunch of nothing. General pass on recoil and tap fire. Okay. What was everything feeling like a laser beam and everything felt the same? I mean, I guess. I didn't play that dang beta. Why the fuck would I want to play a beta? It's not even the game. Only the hardest of core people should be playing the beta. I'm a casual. The fuck do I care? But I have seen this language before in other FPS games. Usually, stuff like this means we're making it harder to aim. That's what it sounds like.
We've also made changes to encourage more controlled tap firing and burst firing.
There it is. Oh, man. There it is. Encourage more controlled tap firing and burst firing. Like real life, guys. Because everybody wants to play Battlefield for its militaristic simulation like characteristics, right? We're just gonna completely ignore the fact that you're like a super soldier with like infinite sprint and like you have like stabbed yourself with like a like constant adrenaline and can like do anything and everything at max top speed, right? Is that who that change was for? The Mill Sim crowd? Yeah, you tap fire and burst fire in like real life, right, guys? You like that, right? Yeah.
Rewarding precision and weapon mastery.
I mean, rewarding precision and weapon mastery. Last time I checked, you can still have weapon precision even if the gun shoots pretty straight at multiple distances. Okay, this is a misconstruing of their own nerfs to the gun. They're trying to make it seem like because we make the bullets spread out more, you guys have to be more accurate. So this is the skill gap we're going to create. No, devs. I've been through this before with other FPSs. That's not how you get to spin this. You would like to try to spin it like that, but that's not how you get to spin it.
Additionally, the shotgun now requires more pellets to secure a kill.
Oh, okay. I was seeing a lot of people bitch moan complaining about the shotgun. Like one tapping you. That's what I saw. A lot of people bitch moan complain about getting one tapped, but not whenever they were one tapping other people. Does no one realize that like guns that one shot, while they may not be competitively fun, stuff that one shots is very noob friendly. New players, they can't get a kill because the time to kill is too long, their aim sucks, whatever, positioning sucks. They don't know where to go, look, whatever. So you got to throw them a bone once in a while, right? Even more so in Battlefield with the vehicles. I think every new player is going to know how to be a god tier vehicle operator or whatever. No. Right? Sometimes you just have to throw the casual people a bone. All right. Everybody that participated in the beta is probably what I would say very above average people. Like maybe not everybody. At least average to above average. There was no like less than 50th percentile. And if there were, I mean, they probably weren't having a good time. Okay? I would probably bet most people that participated in the beta are some sort of hardcore fans. You're in the beta. You literally self-label yourself as a hardcore person because you're participating in the beta. Like you like the brand so much that you're in the beta. Okay? That's what's happening. Okay? But whatever.
We are investigating the time to kill and time to death experiences, and we will share an update if definitive changes are made in
these areas. Oof. So people are bitch moan complaining that TTK is too fast, I imagine. Maybe that's true. Maybe not. I've heard a bunch of opinions left or right about it. Like, yeah, it's too fast, or nah, it's about right, or it's kind of slow. Hey, I don't care.
These areas. This is.
But I will tell you, depending on the time to kill, because last time I checked, Battlefield is a cross-play game. So you got the M&K bros and the controller bros in here. The more you increase the time to kill, the more you give an advantage to controller bros. Depending on how strong the aim assist is, right? Because as we all know, it's harder to track someone on M&K than it is on controller. It just is.
Very coherent. I agree with literally everything here. I think that's great. In the map section, they have this to say. They observed many players.
Oh, now I'm in the way. Okay, let me go up.
Finding their way onto rooftops. There was some confusion as to whether or not players finding themselves on rooftops on
I saw that
was actually intended, but they
this gameplay is not intended for these maps. Oh, okay. So some maps they want you on the roofs, and other maps they don't want you on the roofs. I mean, from a new player perspective, that is kind of weird. Because if I can get on a roof on one map, and then I can't get on a roof on another map, I'm like, why did they do this? Like, why? Like, maybe it makes sense to them, but like, just because like I'm supposed to now remember this map I can't get on roof, this map I do get on roof. Like, it's like that just sounds silly, but maybe like map specific specifically, it makes sense. To me, as like a very casual BF player, like that sounds stupid to like just divide it up like that. But hey, I could be wrong, and people actually like it. They like having to remember which maps that they can and cannot get on roofs.
Firm in this post that it was not intended gameplay, and the upcoming assault ladder, which allows you to access height, was also not designed to give you access to those areas.
Oh,
They go on to say that, quote, we also heard strong feedback from players excited by larger scale maps that Battlefield has to offer.
Oh.
While the open beta featured small...
We also heard strong feedback. This is a funny way of saying we heard all of you bitch mode complaining about the map sizes being too small. So yes, we have larger maps. You know what has happened? It sounds like whoever made this up, this like response article, they took all the negative comments and did like a little blurb on it, and then they plugged it into ChatGPT, and then they're like, hey, spin this in a way that makes it sound positive. Okay? And something else I just noticed, at least half of the people disagree with Enders on all this shit. Oh man. So I love this video already.
Smaller, more fast-paced maps, larger scale maps are already part of our launch package, delivering action-packed gameplay and memorable, unique moments for every player. As part of the upcoming Battlefield Labs testing, we'll be testing 2 new multiplayer maps. One set in Mirak Valley.
Bro, these are probably going to be the biggest maps, all right? That's what's probably going to happen.
The other, a remake to the fan favorite from Battlefield 3, Operation Firestorm.
Oh, okay.
These 2 maps include a full complement of vehicles like Liberation Peak, along with more vast combat space.
Okay, I don't know anything about the maps. They're probably doing like a Call of Duty thing where they bring back that one map. Like, what's the airport one for Call of Duty? Terminal? Where they bring it back, or Nuketown? They just bring it back, everyone, because it's like a fan favorite. I don't know any of the fan favorite maps. So if it's a fan favorite, fuck it. Just bring it back. Don't care. Just call it a day.
They then move on to the modes section. Obviously, Rush was a massive topic within the Battlefield 6 beta. A lot of people having big reservations about it, calling it basically just bad. They actually start the modes section off by talking.
Oh my god. That's an article. Woof.
Talking about Rush. When it comes to Rush, the conversation we observed wasn't just about player count, but also about how maps play and the tactical experience they offer. Rush is a mode with deep roots.
Okay, so what I have tended to do whenever, as I get older, is whatever is being said, I usually say the opposite in my head, and that is probably more true than what is actually being said. So I'm gonna try to apply that in this way. So I'm just gonna see. Rush is a mode with deep roots, so probably not that deep.
Originally known as Gold Rush and Bad Company, where matches typically ranged from 12v12 to 16v16 players. Many of you remember this as the golden era of Rush.
Really?
And it continues to inspire our approach today. We've experimented with larger player counts over the years, such as 64 and even 128 player versions. While these matches created intense, fast-paced moments, they also led to issues, overwhelming defenses, stalled front lines, and too many games ending in the first sector. Rush is especially sensitive to high player counts due to its tactical and strategic requirements. When players try to arm the MCOM, while more than 20 opponents are defending, the intended gameplay becomes less tangible. Based on feedback throughout recent titles, we're lowering the default player count for Rush to improve the flow of combat and restore the tactical, methodical experience that defines the mode.
Oh, okay. I don't even know how Rush is played. Is it like in comparison to Conquest? How does it play? Because I know how Conquest plays, because that's like the flagship mode for most of Battlefield. Like, I have no idea how Rush plays. Like, well, there's like 2 sides, and you gotta like rush to like the center to take hold of the MCOM. Like what?
For those of you who enjoy large-scale Rush, Portal will allow you to experiment with different player counts at launch.
Okay.
In contrast, Breakthrough is designed to accommodate higher player counts of up to 64 players.
So up to 64. So that's 32 v 32. Damn, that's a lot. That's crazy. They went up to 128, dude. Like 64 v 64. That's crazy. That seems like overwhelming. Dang.
And that's where the mode really shines. Using win-loss data from the open beta,
Uh-huh.
we're continuing to make map-by-map balance adjustments towards our goal of a 50-50 win ratio for both attackers and defenders.
50-50 win ratio for both attack and defend. So on the surface, I think it's fine to have like an equal win ratio. The issue is that the maps become too boring. So as an example, in World of Warcraft, there's a game mode called Alterac Valley, and there's like a couple other game modes where it's like mostly symmetrical type of modes within World of Warcraft. There's like, what was it, like the lumber mill one where you got like 5 points, and there's like an upside and a downside in the middle one, or I forgot. But in Alterac Valley, it was 40 v 40, and you had to essentially run to the other side. This is the type of game that it was. Like your big old glob of people just literally run past each other, and you kill a mini boss, kill another mini boss, kill another mini boss, then you kill the final boss. All right, and whoever could like kill that final boss the quickest won the game real quick. So what ended up happening is that because of how the map was designed, Alliance usually won. Like I've never actually like investigated like detail by detail, pixel by pixel, like the routing of it, but it's just the trend of Alliance always wins it, and it's based on the map, and Blizzard never fixed it. So with that in mind, I would ideally, in a perfect world, be okay with a 50-50 win ratio. But my worry is that the maps would be too boring. Because 50-50 win ratio is fine for like competitively viable maps, or whatever they're going for the map. Not every map has to be competitively viable. But I don't know. It just 50-50 win ratio for both attack and defend. I don't know. It feels like this sentence should go without being stated. Like were you not doing this to begin with? Like it feels like that sentence didn't need to be stated, and it was assumed you guys are aiming for that. I don't know. It's just kind of funny.
So it's interesting. They actually double down on Rush being 12v12 for certain experiences in
Oh.
this paragraph. And I mentioned in
Okay.
a previous video,
Ooh, 12v12. That means the individual performance matters a lot more.
I thought that 12v12 was actually a deliberate design decision, and it does appear to be. And like I said, I didn't really find 12v12 to be that big of a problem for me. It did feel like there was more of an opportunity to arm the objective, and also more of an opportunity to make an individual impact defending the MCOM as well. I do
Okay.
think for some maps,
Oh, is this it? Like right down here? Is this like Rush, or is this just Conquest? Well, there's only, all I see is B. So I assume this is it. Everyone just runs to the center.
in certain experiences, upping the player count to 16v16 does make more sense.
Oh wait, no, I see A. There's A, B, and then I would assume a C.
But again, I mean, I thought 12v12 played okay. I thought Rush's problems were definitely with the map design and the sector design, and the MCOMs being next to each other in some sectors, on top of the MCOM being directly next to the defender's spawn. In the next section, they further expand on their approach to the player counts within specific modes. Quote, there was some confusion around the numbers of players in different games, so we wanted to take a moment to clarify our current direction for how these get determined. Rather than locking maps and modes to a fixed player count, our philosophy is to adapt to best fit the intended experience. This may vary by map or evolve over time with player feedback. For example, at launch, some breakthrough layouts will support 48 players, while others will support 64 players.
I think it's fine. Keeping everything flexible. It keeps it I think it keeps everything more variable and fresh. This obsession with trying to keep everything like static. Again, it's fine for like competitive, but like again, the Battlefield has always had an identity crisis with what the community wants the game to be. Some people don't want competitive. Some people do want competitive. Some people want it to be mill sim. Some people want it to be vehicle centric, hardcore, infantry centric. It is what it is. I think it's fine. Stick to the variable ones. Level of like players being in the match, and just go with whatever the people want, man.
It's the one of many factors we adjust to create the right balance and feel for each scenario. In Breakthrough, higher player counts work well on open dynamic maps, while smaller player groups offer a more focused experience on denser maps. Portal gives players the flexibility to try different settings and find what works best for their group and playstyle.
Yeah, I mean, that's the trend with a lot of video games today. Instead of trying to like create the best experience, just have a bunch of options, just let the players decide, and whatever's popular amongst the players, just let them do that. The ball is in the players' court.
Finding the right balance is an ongoing process as everyone gets familiar with map sizes, lanes, and combat spaces. For now, we found that 8v8 provides a solid starting point for small-scale, fast-paced modes like Team Deathmatch, Squad Deathmatch, Domination, and King of the Hill.
Oh, I saw Koth, and I was like, what the heck is Koth? Oh, Domination and King of the Hill. Okay.
I personally really support this direction where they are supporting different player counts for the same mode based on what map you're playing that game mode on. I think, for instance, if you were to play Liberation Peak Breakthrough with any more than 48 players, it would be a really, really bad time. It was a pretty bad time with 48 players, so, more is not always better when it comes to player count. Now, we have to tackle the movement section. So I'm going to read this paragraph that's on your screen right now. However...
Oh, this is the juice right here. This is the juice. The movement.
Before I read it, I just have to kind of harp on them a little bit for how
they
worded this initial paragraph.
The movement.
So this paragraph was put out, and then for whatever reason, Drunksy, who is a game developer working on Battlefield, tweeted a slew of clarifications that should have been included in the original post just to avoid...
I bet he only did that because of all the commotion that went along with that little movement paragraph. Because if there was no extra commotion about the movement, he wouldn't have clarified anything. But now, see, this is what you should do. You should let it be known that if you don't like something, it's okay to revert it. It's okay if you don't like the things that they're doing.
Confusion, because the clarifications that Drunksy provided are extremely important, and they make the original post on movement sound a lot better than it initially came off as.
Oh.
The original post reads as follows.
Oof.
Movement mechanics.
Oh, let me see. Okay, where is this? Okay, it's you can see it. Boom.
Mechanics have been adjusted to create a more balanced and traditional Battlefield experience.
Oh. Balanced and traditional. What do you guys think that means? Balanced and traditional. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. Looking like a fool with your boots on the ground. Oh, man. Ain't no modern audience over here in Battlefield. That's for sure.
Momentum, especially horizontal speed.
Ooh, horizontal momentum.
Carried from a slide into a jump has been reduced.
Oh! So you can't go like, what? You can only go, huh? you gotta like stop, jump up, and then go. You can't go, what? Oh, I gotta hear this. I've heard everything under the sun with regards to movement and FPSs from my good old boy Apex Legends. I've heard everything one way for the sake of XYZ reasons, and then everything be changed the other way for the sake of those same reasons. So, this is nothing new to me.
There's now a greater penalty for consecutive jumps, which lowers...
Oh, okay. Greater penalty for consecutive jumps. So, I don't know how the jumps work in Battlefield, but like I assume your first jump is like a big juicy one, and then it went big one, little, and then less and less. All right, that's pretty understandable. Most people that feels like pretty normal. Like that's like standard operating procedures in a lot of FPS games. Your first jump is like the big juice one, and then the consecutive ones are like, I can't keep going. Ugh. Okay, my legs, they don't work anymore after like 2-3 jumps. Oh, okay.
Jump height when jumps are spammed.
Mm-hmm.
Firing will jump.
That's fine. I don't think the only game I have played that has a lot of jump spamming is Overwatch. And that's only because Overwatch has no momentum, right? Everything is static. Static speed. Static jumping speed, static, like, there's no acceleration, deceleration when you, like, left, right spam, strafe spam, or whatever, 80 spam. I think it's the same. Or no. There is a little, like, for Marvel Rivals, there is a little bit of like acceleration, deceleration whenever you go to like 80 spam. That's why I think it's like not as popular. Like people still do it, but it's like, it's not as strong. I don't know if people like do a lot of jump spamming in Marvel Rivals because the movement is like slightly different. But I'm gonna tell you, like, just from looking at the beta, this game already has like acceleration, deceleration on your strafes. All right, so like 80 spamming isn't like that strong. Whatever a jump spamming they're talking about is it's probably coming from shitters. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Oh man, and I myself am like pretty washed. Like I used to have like okay aim, and now I'm just like I haven't even played an FPS game in like a year. Okay, I'm playing Monster Hunter. But I will say this: if you're trying to shoot a target that is like jumping up and down, it doesn't feel good. It's easy to counter it, but it just doesn't feel good. I mean, whatever, but I'd be okay with it if it felt good to do. But in general, I mean, I'm the same way with crouch spamming. I think crouch spamming should be put into the dirt, right? If you play Apex and at the tippity top levels, everyone's like crouch spamming and all that shit. It's like, God, what am I doing here? I'm lost. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Sliding will result in increased inaccuracy. These changes are designed to make sliding and jumping more situational, so they are no longer ideal options for engaging in gunfights and will contribute to gameplay pace that rewards skillful movement without becoming too fast or unpredictable.
So essentially, what has been happening, it feels like. So firing while jumping or sliding will result in increased inaccuracy. So, you know what this feels like? It feels like they're making the game more like Counter-Strike. I fucking hate Counter-Strike and Valorant for the sheer fact that they want you to stand still and shoot. That does not feel good to me. I like moving and shooting. Okay, I just do. This alone makes it so that I don't even want to watch the game anymore, regardless of who's playing. I was considering buying this game on day one, but I am so petty that because of this, I'm just like, ah, probably not gonna, buy it now.
Parachute physics have also been retuned with reduced initial acceleration when opening the parachute for more controlled aerial movement. And before I give my opinion on this, again, I have to give all of Drunksy's clarifications that should have been included in the original fucking post. Dice.
Oh.
But first, Drunksy replied to a person on Twitter.
Oh, I didn't even see any of these little clarification things. This has got to be a juicer.
With this, adding diminishing returns to jumping is what we're actually doing. An initial slide or an initial jump will not be affected. This is a balancing act. We believe that movement was in a pretty good spot, but some tuning in specific extremes was needed. He then replies to another person.
Oh, so your first one's fine. It's the subsequent ones. Oh, okay.
Saying, bro, why the movement nerfs? And he says, a bit difficult to bring contrast through a blog post.
No, it's not. You just put the words over there, and then you control, what is it? Control C, and then you control V. And then if you want, you record a little in studio before and after to show the difference. All right? This is not rocket science.
But they're absolutely not drastic changes. We're still trying to retain depth to movement with some skill curve to it, just making sure that it doesn't become insane.
Which is fine. But if I think about movement shooters, I don't think Battlefield. I don't. I don't care like what movement demon is on there. The Battlefield is not the movement shooter. It's just not. And them trying to nerf movement already. It is funny. Because they're trying to like nip it in the butt real quick before it even gets out of hand. You can't even airstrafe in this game. What? Like what?
He then has yet another set of clarifications where he quote tweets my friend Kaiser, and he says, it's difficult to give a feel of what we're doing through a blog post, but the movement changes are far from drastic. They're very...
Bro, people that make shit sound complicated are so stupid when they can't explain it in a simplified way. If you think the thing that you're like talking about is like hard to explain, you're probably like not suited for the job.
Localized adjustments to specific parts of movements where things could get too extreme. We want to retain depth and skill expression with movement. Movement is also getting more responsive in general places that have felt a bit clunky before, so there is a lot more that is getting quality improvements / polish in this same area. Now, if I can, I will just suggest something. Maybe it's a much better idea to make a video showing the before and after of these specific movement changes.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Rather than trying to get the point across with...
Shit, I mean, I could have done that in like 20 minutes, guys. And I'm a nobody. And I could have told you that's like the better way to do it.
Words. Because if a developer is on Twitter stating that it's very difficult to get this point across, perhaps you should do it in a different way so that people don't misinterpret it. On top of the fact that Drunksy in his last statement there says there's actually going to be some areas that get more responsive. So it wasn't just all nerfs, which is what the original post suggested. It was nerfs with some added benefits and improvements to
Battlefield 6 might be back on the menu, boys.
Some areas. And that's the point I was trying to make. The initial post is kind of extremely misleading. If you didn't know who Drunksy is, you would have no idea about any of these clarifications.
I don't know.
Now onto what
I don't know anything about that.
If you were to ask me, Enders, did you feel any part of the Battlefield 6 beta's movement system was overpowered and in need of nerfs? I would answer no. And I would answer no because I just truly believe that the movement was in quite a good place during the Battlefield 6 beta. I felt it was grounded enough. I felt there was...
And also, how you can tell the movement was fine, I didn't see any clips on Twitter about some silly battlefield movement outside of that like infinite slide glitch, but I think they fixed that or whatever. Other than that, I didn't see any movement clips pop off. All right, and also, movement. Last time I checked, movement doesn't kill people. Bullets do.
Enough of a skill gap. I put somewhere in the order of 80 hours into the game, and I really got a good feel for what you can do with the movement. Everything you could do in it had to be very, very well planned and well timed and very deliberate. Nothing was too fast. In fact, the sprint speed is the slowest Battlefield sprint speed of all time.
Dang.
If you're not running with your knife out. I thought the jump penalties were definitely very punishing, to the point where you'll watch this gameplay in the background. I'm not really jump peeking people while aiming down sights because, again, the penalty I felt was so punishing that it just kind of made it worthless in the first place. And generally speaking, just as a big blanket statement here, I don't personally feel any nerfs to any of the mechanics are warranted because the movement just simply wasn't that good. Now, I do want to address some other things here that are causing massive confusion. There were
confused.
some weird things going on with the movement, having to do with bugs and like potential weird exploits. Those I'm going to show on screen right now, and I'm going to tell you guys what's going on. So in the background, I'm going to put this clip that's circulating.
Sorry for quality. Can't find OG post. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it looks like we're playing Counter-Strike. Like, what was this, like from 15 years ago?
Everywhere.
Oof,
this guy.
That was some momentum conservation if I ever seen. All right, that shit looked like we were playing like on the Source engine. Let me see that again. That shit was looking so smooth. Okay, here we go.
Exploits. Those I'm going to show on screen right now, and I'm going to tell you guys what's going on.
Watch.
So in the background, I'm going to put this clip that's circulating everywhere. This guy is using some weird stuff. This is absolutely not how the game played. In my 80 hours of playing the BF6 beta, I didn't see this a single time. You'll notice in some of the clips, he actually bounces off of ledges, and you might have experienced this in your own gameplay. Where you touch a ledge and suddenly you just go flying up in the air.
Surely they'll fix all of that when the game comes out.
That is what he's using here. That will absolutely be patched. That is without a doubt a bug. I believe one of the developers on Twitter stated this will be patched as well. It might have been Drunksy. It's just not.
These beginning couple clips, though, it looks like this dude is playing on the Source engine, dude. It looks like this dude is like air strafing. This version of the game looks so much more fun, even though it's unintended
gameplay, and they should fix it. On top of that, you may notice he's jumping in a straight line in quite a big distance, and he's bunny hopping, as a lot of people call it. Number one, there's not bunny hopping in this game. If you really want to learn about bunny hopping, you should look up a video on it. He's basically just chaining a couple jumps together without losing any momentum. And someone DM'd me and told me that this is actually this person using some sort of macro or just sort of macroing the timing of the movement. This is also not going to make it into the
and then we see normal gameplay from Enders, and it's like, it's such a stark difference.
Base game. And I also never saw it, and I didn't personally use any of this jumping chain stuff in my gameplay of the battle.
But if it does make it into the release version of the game, you should use it. Why? Because sometimes unintentional things make the game fun and feel better. All right? Look at Warframe. Warframe, the only reason they have the bullet jump is because somebody posted a video of them doing like a glitch where they were like jumping and sliding in the air, and then I think like meleeing to like cancel it, and then they were doing that like constantly to like get through the level quicker, and I think it was like relatively easy to do, but it made the game feel so much more fun and fluid. They decided to actually go all in on bullet jumping and just make an actual mechanic about it. And at the end of the day, this is a video game. Are we not trying to play it for fun? Right? Look at Apex Legends. And I know, why are you using Apex Legends? All right. Air strafing in the game. What's it called? Tap strafing? I haven't played it so long. I fucking forgot the damn name of the movement mechanics. Tap strafing. You You get up to a sprint, you jump. Your first jump has a lot of momentum and a lot of height, and then you hit either your A or your D key on your keyboard, and then since you bind W to like either your up or down, you can end up doing like 180s in the air for air strafing, and it feels so fun. It feels so much better. They decided to leave that in the game for like the rest of the game. Like it's still in the game. All right, now I get it. The reason those things can fly in those games is because those games aren't based in reality. All right, Battlefield is a game based in reality, militaristic simulation type gaming. Okay, I get it. But you gotta have your head on a swivel. If enough unintentional gameplay exploitation, emergent behavior type shit starts to get out, and it turns out and it's like kind of easy, and it makes the game fun, people might start doing it. And once a lot of people start doing it, they find it fun. It's going to get the attention of the developers, and then it's going to be on them to either leave it in or take it out. And upon them on taking it out could cause a lot of people to stop playing the game. I mean, it could. Look at what happened with Apex Legends whenever they tried to take tap strafe out of the game. For a couple days, everybody on M&K, all 12 of them, they were pissed. Okay?
Battlefield 6 beta. So make no mistake, Battlefield 6's movement from a baseline perspective is nothing like what these clips are making it out to be. These are bugs, these are potential exploits, and it...
Did you know moving and looting in Apex is a bug? But you do it to make yourself a harder target while looting. They just leave that in the game too.
Just isn't like this.
But I get it. You're making another comparison to Apex. Stop it. Okay, I will.
Now I'm going to go over each and every single individual movement option and my experience with it in the Battlefield 6 beta. I suppose I will start with the sprint speed. I felt the sprint speed was fine, even though it was the slowest Battlefield sprint speed of all time. I believe it's 5.9 meters per second off the top of my head. Maybe someone in the comment section can confirm that. And then when you pull your knife out, you run faster, but it's still slower than the fastest Battlefield movement speed ever. So I felt the sprint speed and just the general moving around speed was completely acceptable. I don't have any problems with it. In terms of jump peeking or shooting while jumping, I barely utilized this because of the already existing extremely harsh penalty. I simply didn't use it. It wasn't that useful. Most of the time, it would get you killed. The only way I would use jumping while shooting is point blank range, or at least very close CQC. I would jump.
Like, I'm just looking at this, and this gun is bucking. Just enough right here. I don't even know what's happening.
With hip fire only, and I would try to kill the enemy that way. Most of the time, again, point blank range, hip firing, I would only get one jump off, maybe two if the enemies let me do it, right? Like, if they miss me a lot, I might be able to fit two in there, but most of the time, I'm dead if I timed it incorrectly. So I did not feel that jumping was overpowered whatsoever in the Battlefield 6 beta.
No fun, guys. You can't have any fun. You can't jump and shoot. You can't slide and shoot. No fun. No fun allowed. This is a standing and shooting type of situation. Only standing and shooting. And maybe crouching and sometimes prone shooting. All right? You got to get immersed into the game. In real life, you'd be proning right here.
Even playing against other players using it, it was extremely easy to hit, and I didn't see many people using any sort of jumping or jump peeking or spamming jumping of any kind in my personal experience playing the game. And this is where some more frustration between the original post and Drunksy's clarifications come in. In the original post, it states, there is now a greater penalty for consecutive jumps, which lowers jump height when jumps are spammed. And then Drunksy says that the penalties described in the original posts actually will not apply on the initial jump or the initial slide. So on one hand, we have the official dice post saying one thing, and then on the other hand, we have Drunksy saying another thing. I do have to admit,
Oh,
Drunksy's clarification regarding the jump peaking and jumping and sliding particularly does provide a much clearer view into how this may actually play after these nerfs are implemented. So the initial
dang.
jump or an initial slide will not be affected. However, like I stated previously, it is very questionable, just from a baseline, if any movement nerfs whatsoever were needed past fixing any bugs that were present.
Fair assumption. Okay. If the changes that you made were so insignificant, why even make them in the first place? Oh, so now you have to backpedal and say that they are significant changes? Well, then say that in the beginning.
Most of the time, you could only get away with doing one slide or one jump anyway. And touching on the slide's usefulness in the Battlefield 6 beta, I was using the slide mainly as a defensive option, sliding into cover like you did in Battlefield 1, but you could time it correctly in CQC to do a very brief slide peek. And of course, you had to time this correctly, and it was really only useful within CQC, I would say 0 to about 5 meters. Additionally, if you were a little more of an advanced player, you could utilize this technique that you might see in the background gameplay a little bit in certain clips, where I would get a running start, jump, and then land sliding to just get a little bit more momentum so I can move around the map a little bit faster. If they want to take that out of the game, that's fine. However, there was also a separate thing you could do with the slide where you could jump, land sliding while aiming down sights.
Oh, shit. I saw that one. So they don't want the movement to be so hilarious, like I imagine Call of Duty with their little 8-way run. Lots of momentum carrying with the jumps, lots of momentum carrying with the slides, whatever they have. They don't want to have like a slide cancel situation in Call of Duty. Okay, because they know the audience doesn't like that. That's why they're playing Battlefield. Let me see this.
However, there was also a separate thing you could do with the slide where you could jump, land sliding while
Oh, that's a... Okay. That's like harmless.
aiming down sights, and this could extend your effective kill range while sliding quite a bit. However, this was very difficult to pull off, and you could get caught off guard extremely easily. So this wasn't something that you could spam. This wasn't something that was necessarily easy to do. It was a very deliberate action that had to be timed, and you better make sure you're in a 1v1 or you're at least sliding near cover, because if you're trying to do this in front of even 2 people, you are simply going to die in 99.9% of scenarios.
Oh,
And
that's
again,
funny.
similarly to the jumping thing that I explained, I never saw anybody use this against me in my gameplay. And again, I put over 80 hours into the Battlefield 6 gameplay. I cannot confidently tell you that I saw it even a single time used against me. And
Okay. So I take it that jump sliding isn't going to be an issue because simply no one's doing it. That's probably why. Not a lot of people are exposed to it. I mean, shit, you could have done tap strafing in Apex from season 1 to 3 and no one would have said anything because no one knew how to do it. You know? It was only since one person started doing it and then, you know, guides get made on how to do it. More and more people do it. Then it becomes more popular. All right, then the game feels better because you can do it. That's when it becomes an issue. Maybe this little jump slide thing is like this game's version of tap strafing. But this is so like harmless. This isn't like anything.
again, in my gameplay, using the slide in any form for anything was very situational. And again, you could not spam it. So I'm not sure why people are saying you could spam slide. You definitely couldn't. In terms of the rest of the movement of Battlefield 6, you
Definitely, but I mean, I saw like some clips of people like doing the spam slide, but they fixed it, so that's not even in the game anymore. So, yeah.
had proning, right? It's proning. We've all seen that.
Oh boy, the most fun version of any FPS, lying down and shooting.
Crouching in Battlefield 6 was very similar to Battlefield 2042, but just directly worse. Reason being is using crouching in gunfights was best used, again, in very niche CQC scenarios where you have somebody close to you and only in hip fire. If you tried to crouch spam while aiming down sights, your sight would get flung all over the place because, again, there was already a penalty in place to combat this. So, in my opinion, Battlefield 6's movement was already in a very good place. There were penalties in place to combat things that players don't want to see in Battlefield. Nothing was overpowered. You couldn't spam anything, and whatever bug.
I think I'm weird in that I'm okay with jump spamming, but not okay with crouch spamming. That's just me. Oh man, maybe I'm a hypocrite.
Are present, they should fix. So I'm not really so certain why people all of a sudden hate Battlefield 6 movement after all I saw personally from streaming and making YouTube videos is the majority of people enjoying the gameplay of Battlefield 6 during the beta.
Yeah.
In the comment section, even on Reddit, people were going, hey, this feels pretty good. So I'm not really certain why there's this crazy 180 in celebration of them, in my opinion, unnecessarily nerfing movement. There are plenty of previous Battlefield titles that most likely have better movement than Battlefield 6. I would argue Battlefield 5 has a more useful slide, better jump peeking, and just has more in-depth mechanics and is snappier and is faster. Same can be said with Battlefield 4 and absolutely with Battlefield Hardline as well. And then, of course, the most recent installment with...
It sounds like a lot of people bitch moan complaining about the movement being like too fast and them not knowing what fast movement is. It sounds like these guys just want to like lie down and shoot a sniper and just like be in peace. And that's literally it. That's what it sounds like to me. It's just listening to enders. I mean, it is what it is, man. That's the identity crisis of Battlefield happening already.
Battlefield 2042, that game's movement is light years ahead of anything you could do in Battlefield 6. So, in my opinion, what they're doing here is they are just basically catering to loudmouth Redditors and bad players for the sake of doing it. And my biggest problem with doing that is you give the Redditors, you give the casual players that play once every month an inch, and they want to take a mile. We saw that in Battlefield 1, where they essentially nerfed the slide into oblivion and obscurity, to where it's not even really utilized in gameplay. And you can say, oh, maybe this is a slippery slope and all that, but no, in my opinion, it really is a massive concern, even if we do have clarifications from Drunksy stating they want a bit of skill expression left in the movement. The fact of the matter is, if you satisfy that ravenous base that want to basically nerf all the mechanics out of the game, they're never going to stop. I fully expect to see people want to see jumping removed from the game. I've already seen that on a couple threads.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I don't even fucking go on Reddit for like these types of games. It don't fucking matter to me. I just want to play like a fun shooting game that sometimes I can get in a vehicle and maybe blow a building up. That's it. That's all I would expect.
I fully expect to see people want the slide to be completely removed from the game. I'm sure I'll see that maybe even in this comment section, and I've already seen that on threads.
Wow.
So again, this is one of those things where you give them an inch, they want to take a fucking mile.
I mean, it sounds like the game they're describing already exists. It sounds like Counter-Strike or Valorant. I mean, you're not really seeing anybody jump killing in Counter-Strike. Everyone just stands and shoots in place, no movement. Yeah, you can crouch in Counter-Strike, but like I don't think people really spam it. So crouch spamming is you don't do it. I'm just trying to figure out like what kind of game some of those guys want. I mean, I'm not sure, but one of my predictions is that with the advent of the most locked in cat boy, or what was it, cat girl, whatever. This is potentially going to be the sweatiest Battlefield game to date because of all of the hype and eyeballs that that clip got. So I don't know if I want to get this game on day one, dude. I kind of, a piece of me just wants to sit back, relax, and just watch.
Don't like seeing them pander to basically people that don't know what they're experiencing and don't know what they're talking about. A lot of people I've spoken to on Twitter and just the people I've replied to, I can hardly believe they played the same Battlefield 6 beta that I did with some of their opinions. They're replying to me telling me, oh, I saw this all the time. Oh my god, this was so prevalent. This was so overpowered. And I'm sitting here looking at my own gameplay, and I'd like to think I'm pretty fucking sweaty, and I would find these things out and use them in my gameplay, and I just simply wasn't. I didn't experience them. I didn't see anyone else using them. I didn't use them. So where are these mystical players that are using all of these overpowered movement mechanics that just I apparently avoided playing against during the entire beta for fucking 80 hours, 90 damn hours? And I think the answer to this is very, very simple. These people are tourists. And it's funny because they were called...
Oh, hit the nail on the head already. Oh my god. This jumping guy killed me. This sliding guy killed me. One time. Because I'm only going to play the beta one day. Dang. I think we found him.
Calling me a Battlefield tourist. And that's how I know they are a Battlefield tourist. Because if you're a longtime viewer of the channel, you would know...
Bro, I'm a Battlefield tourist. The only reason I'm looking at it now is because of largely the hype that that cat girl thing generated, and a little bit of like stuff before that. You know, it was like I was kind of bored. You know, I just wanted to change stuff up. It's like, okay, what kind of shooters are coming out? Oh, BF6. Oh, some of my friends said they would come play a Battlefield if I swapped over for a little bit. Not too. I don't give a shit about Counter-Strike or Val. Don't give a shit about COD. Don't give a shit about Apex. What else? Don't give a shit about Fortnite. What else? There's probably a couple. Don't give a shit about PUBG. Don't give a shit about what else? There's probably a couple other shooters I left out, but for the most part, I was like, Battlefield's coming out with a new one. Let's see what they got. So I watch it a little bit, right? And it's like, infantry gameplay seems pretty crispy. The vehicle gameplay seems pretty cool. It's been a while since I played a Battlefield from beginning to end. I think my last one I ever played was like maybe something on the 360. It's been a while. But yeah. And then that little cat girl clip solidified it for me. But now I'm just like on the fence now. Probably kind of leaning towards no on day one at least. Maybe I'll wait till it goes on sale, especially since they announced that they want to do a new Battlefield game every 3 years. Man, that's a bummer. The moment you do that, I just care about your game way less. Oh man, that was a self-own, dude. I can't imagine why you would say that. I don't think you needed to announce it. You just had to do it. Because I don't give a shit about, like, nothing in this game that you do is going to matter. I mean, even if they didn't announce that, nothing in the game really matters at the end of the day. But I don't know. It matters even less now.
That I'm anything but a Battlefield tourist, okay? I've played Battlefield through the darkest times possible when everybody else left. So I really think a lot of people expressing their opinion on this are people that are probably just going to quit the game within the first 2 to 3 months and we'll never hear about them again. However, they want to have a big say in how the game should play forever.
I don't care about how the game should play forever. I was probably going to be a tourist, but now I don't even want to be a tourist.
Isn't that funny? So just to round this off, I heavily disagree with the direction they're taking the movement in. I
Same.
understand the nerfs might not actually be that bad in practice. However, I disagree with the direction as a whole.
Well, if the nerfs didn't matter in practice, why nerf it at all? I will repeat that question, Mr. Battlefield 6 developer. The only reason you change it at all is because it matters.
I don't think the movement was good enough to warrant any sort of changes in a negative/nerf direction.
And on top of it, everyone, like, I don't know what the vibe is on people running around with, like, knife out, run faster. I think running with a knife is fucking stupid. Just let me run fast with the damn rifle, dude. Fuck that stupid running around with a knife make you run faster bullshit. That's dumb. You think that's realistic? Who thought of that?
I was actually potentially waiting for some buffs because, again, as Drunksy stated previously in one of the clarifications, things were clunky and they plan on smoothing some things out. I expected to see exclusively positive changes to clunkiness, and I didn't really expect to see anything in terms of nerfs because, again, in my gameplay experience, the movement just isn't fucking that good, man. And I realize the game isn't out yet. Yes, the game can change still. Yes, they can revert these changes.
Yeah, they can.
You know, maybe the day will be saved and everything's fine and we're overreacting right now. Time will tell. If I had to bet on it, given my experience with the Battlefield franchise, once they make changes like this to core elements to the game, good luck reverting them, even with something like Battlefield Labs. And I should have put this at the beginning of the video, but I just want to make it crystal fucking clear. I'm not a COD player, not trying to turn Battlefield into something that it isn't. I simply don't want the mechanics of the game to be gutted simply because players want them to be gutted. There has to be a...
But isn't that the obligation of the developer? Not necessarily to listen to players, but to... I mean, because there's been plenty of instances of players doing things according to what they want and not listening to the players, right? But for the most part, isn't it supposed to be the developers do what the players want in some cases? However, I could also understand the argument for players ignoring the players and doing whatever they want.
Real conversation as to what real feedback really is, because I saw a lot of people posting that clip that I showed you earlier in the video of someone using movement bugs as movement feedback and as trying to justify why these nerfs were okay. But they didn't even know a lot of the things they're watching were unintended things you could do in the BF6 beta. We have to have a real adult conversation around whether or not a lot of these changes are even necessary. Okay.
I mean, they're probably not, to be honest. They're probably not. You know how in like World of Warcraft, if you're gonna post on like the official Blizzard forums, you gotta like log in with your character, but most people don't talk in the forums on their main because they're so bad at the game. I think Battlefield should have something similar. You know, you log in on the, what is it called? Like the Battlefield 6 forums. You can talk about like whatever you want, but you have to link your account so that everybody can see all of your achievements or lack thereof. Just so that they know that the type of feedback that this person is talking about is coming from this type of player. I think that's a better way to do it, and it's more transparent. I love transparency. It's transparent.
And that's how I'll just end this video. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope some of you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Leave your thoughts on this in the comments section. If you enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and of course, swing by stream. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/Enders, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Nice. Oh, Ender's about to be looking like a locked-in cat girl, too. Oh, shit. He's cheating. He's cheating. Oh, man. Bro, it's actually... Let me refresh this real quick. Bro, people... Oh my god. People do not like this, dude. Look at the identity crisis of Battlefield represented right here in the up thumb, down thumbs, dude. Oh my god. 1,000 people agree with him. Half of 1,000 disagree. Wow. This is what I was talking about with the identity crisis of Battlefield. Identity. Whew. Overall, cool video. I'd probably side with Enders because I'm just like, I just want to play a fun game. If it don't feel good, I'm just not going to play it. I'm not even going to buy it. But it is what it is. Good stuff, man. Keep it up, baller. But that's it for me. We'll see what happens when the game comes out. Woo! Okay, later, guys.